Welcome to Chapter 4, which is all about the Life Values Alignment Grid. So by this point in the Life Values method, you've helped clients explore their individual values, work on their identity, and deepen their relational awareness in Chapter 3. So let's take a look at the Life Values Alignment Grid. This is a powerful visual diagnostic tool, and it helps your clients understand where they currently sit in terms of their values alignment or values clarity and their personal responsibility and what might be pulling them off center. So by looking at the grid, you can see that it's not just another reflective model. This grid functions as both a mirror and a map. So as a mirror, it reveals behavioral patterns that might otherwise take months to surface. Things like perfectionism, avoidance, burnout, blame, disconnection, all the things that your clients might be facing. So as a map, it invites self-reflection and outlines the terrain and pathways towards greater alignment and back to the center of health. So as you can see there, we've got rigid values up the top, and this is about being idealistic, inflexible, or judgmental. Now these labels here aren't to label people or shame people, but just to help recognize where you might be on the Life Values Alignment Grid. And down the bottom, you've got unclear values, and this is where you or your clients might be feeling disconnected, reactive, or uncertain. And looking at the horizontal axis now, on the right-hand side, you've got over-responsibility. And this is where your clients might be controlling or over-functioning or self-sacrificing in some way. And on the left, to finish off the grid, we've got low responsibility. And this is where being avoidant lives, being passive or in blaming territory. And in the center, you've got healthy values and healthy responsibility. And we'll look at this in more detail later on in the chapter. But that should give you a healthy starting point. So why introduce the grid now? Well, after exploring Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, many of your clients still might find themselves asking questions like these. Why do I keep falling into the same patterns? I've done the work, I know my values, but why am I not living by them? Or what's really going on underneath this burnout, this indecision, or why am I still people pleasing? So the Life Values Alignment Grid helps answer these questions in a clear, compassionate, and practical way. It gives shape and context to the inner experience your clients are facing. And most of all, it creates a shared language for breakthrough conversations that you can have with your clients about boundaries, integrity, making decisions, taking action, and that personal growth. So looking a little bit closer at the grid now, we've got the vertical axis and the horizontal axis. And this creates 4 quadrants. And inside each quadrant, you've got common patterns of imbalance. And each of these quadrants has characteristics, traits, beliefs, and emotional states. Now, I've defined some personas that we can look at a little bit later on that live inside these quadrants. We also have the center circle, which represents a healthy state. This is values-aligned living with appropriate responsibility. So inside this chapter, you're going to get detailed explanations of the grid layout and how it works. We're going to look at the guiding principles for the grid, look at all the persona descriptions in each quadrant, and tap into their traits, beliefs, and emotional dynamics. We're also going to look at shifting around the quadrants and the forces at play. And this is all helpful information to help your clients recognize what's going on. It's about creating that awareness and helping them return to the center of health. We're also going to look at a few intervention strategies and suggested exercises to make your process as the therapist that much easier. So here's one practitioner tip. Clients often connect with the grid immediately. So using it in session brings clarity, reduces shame, and opens space for honest conversation. And to deepen insight, you'll find fictional characters from popular TV shows in the personas section. Now, this shows how they map onto the grid and how they might shift between quadrants. So these familiar examples really help normalize the patterns and spark meaningful reflection for your clients. Chapter 4 helps bring the hidden patterns of your clients into the open. After the foundational work in chapters 1, 2, and 3, the Life Values Alignment Grid gives you a really practical way to understand where the drift happens, why it happens, and what returning to center can look like. So from here, the method moves into deeper application, helping you use life values for change, decisions, relationships, and taking meaningful action. So let's now dive into chapter 4 and take a closer look at the personas on the grid. And if you'd like to explore this work further, you can get started by downloading the introductory guide to the Life Values Alignment Grid.